Hey,
Good.
Chelsea.
Hi, Chelsea.
Hello, good morning. I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this show. First of all, home renovation shows always feel like the hosts have all the answers no matter what the situation is. So give us the tea. Do y'all ever feel stumped as to what to do or maybe tried something that truly did not work?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. No, I think that that's actually part of what we sort of leaned into is having the discussions, having the conversations, problem solving on the fly. I've never been interested in people that have all the answers and they're just going to do it for you right because there's one way to do something. There's not one way to do something. If anything, it's like figure it out together what is best for you in this moment with all the constraints. So we do not have all the answers.
Yeah, that's part of the authenticity of the show,
Mm-hmm.
too, is we don't. You'll see us collaborate, honestly, sometimes in real time. We'll start a conversation off camera and then say, hey, wait, let's save
Let's
that. Let's do it on film because we wanted to preserve the authenticity of the show.
yeah.
So we definitely didn't have all the answers.
Yep.
Some things were figured out as we went along, and there were some things that got changed.
Yep.
Like we thought we were going to do option A, but we ended up with option Z.
Yep.
You know?
Totally.
So yeah, that we didn't have all the answers.
No, definitely. I mean, the reality of reality TV is there was a lot of reality.
That's right.
Totally. I remember very specifically, we got to this one house and we were kind of running out of time and it had very high ceilings. Like we're talking like 16-foot ceilings. And Olivia had found these gorgeous like lamps and our ladder barely made it to the ceiling. So it was like, okay, either we're not gonna get these lamps up or we're gonna figure out how to make this ladder a little bit taller, which probably wasn't the safest thing in the world, but we got it done.
You do what you got to do sometimes.
Sometimes you got to put the ladder on the coffee table.
That's right. I should go in a
Well,
t-shirt.
well, I'm glad that y'all survived the ladder on a coffee table incident and we're all safe. Wonderful. Luke, it is such a fun fact to know that you have a woodworking hobby. Tell us
Yeah.
about that journey. How did it start?
I mean, it really began with sort of family, and my family was always interested in making, building. It's kind of how we bonded. It's kind of how we got to sort of spend time with each other. So that's really where it began. Um, as I was pursuing my acting career, and after graduated from school, it was like became a way to make ends meet. Frankly, it was a skill that I developed with my family. So I worked for contractors. I worked for deck builders and cabinet making shops, and then from that moment, I was able to sort of, as my career kind of took off, be able to build my own little shop and start getting into the thing that I love the most, which is sort of fine woodworking. And yeah, it's something that is the kind of antithesis of being on a set. It's solo. It's working with a material that is, not always the most malleable, very much unlike an actor. So it's a great antithesis to, being an actor. And I'm grateful to finally get to share this kind of interest of mine with people.
Amazing. And Olivia, I think one of the most common issues in everyone's homes is the lack of places to put things. What are your top three tips to help with that?
Oh my gosh, for storage. Whatever you can find. I don't know if I have three. I'll give you one big overarching one. Whatever you can find that can serve a dual purpose.
Mm.
So a lot of times I'll do ottomans instead of coffee tables, but that has storage in it. So you can lift off the top and store things in it. Things that have multifunctional purposes is what I would say. If you can get things off the floor and onto the walls. So for instance,
I'm thinking, I saw this on Instagram yesterday. There was a sink on the back of a toilet. No, I'm kidding.
well, that's too multifunctional. Somehow that doesn't seem
No,
sanitary.
it does not seem sanitary. No.
So that's really what I would say is look for ways to get multifunctions out of one thing. So we did have an episode where there was not enough storage in the kitchen, remember?
Yep.
But there was all this space, so we added an island.
Yep.
Like it could use an island, or you added the butcher block to the side of the stove to have a place to put things down and store, So you just have to look for creative ways to use space. The space is there. How can I fill it?
Yep.
And make it functional.
Yep, that's right.
I actually loved that episode. That kitchen turned out so beautiful. Y'all did a great job with that one.
Thank you. We were quite impressed with how that came out. That one was a challenge.
That one was tough. And like, here's the reality of making these shows is at the end of the day, look, we are concerned that it looks good. And yes, we have a team of people that helped us and they're fantastic. But at the end of the day, we're like, well, someone's got to drive to Home Depot and get these things. So like Olivia and I were doing those things. Olivia and I were coming back to the job site or showing up early to the job site, because if that crown molding didn't go up, it wasn't going to get put up. So it really did we did very much get dirty and put our hands on everything.
We put our heart into it.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Let's do something fun. What is your dream home style, both exterior and interior?
Oof.
Oh my gosh. See, I always get caught up with that question because I don't have a particular style. Like I like what I like and I'm inspired by so many different things. So the interior of it would really just reflect who I am, my family, you know, our interests, our families, our past, just like what we do on the show. Because that's what really gives you that sense of belonging and peace, right? The exterior, however, my husband and I have been thinking about this because we're manifesting our new home. And it's mid-century modern leaning. I would love a ranch because stairs. Nobody wants to do that, right? 40 plus wants to climb a bunch of stairs. And it would have lots of natural light, windows everywhere. And I would love maybe a U-shaped something that has a courtyard or a pool in the middle.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You should move to LA. This
Think
sounds
Palm
like an
Springs.
LA. Yeah,
I was
I'm
going
thinking
to say
Palm
think
Springs.
Palm
Yeah.
Springs.
John Lautner.
Obviously lots of color.
Yeah.
Like my house would have lots of color.
Yeah. It's so hard. You know, I love homes. I love architecture ever since I was a kid. And it's funny, this morning we've been talking to all these different sort of outlets in different parts of the country. You know, we were talking to someone in DC, and in the background at one point I was looking at the Jefferson Memorial. I was like, gosh, there's certain old houses in DC that I just love, those kind of narrow, tall things. We're here in New York City. I think these brownstones. Then we're talking to someone in Florida, and it's like, so a home is so reflective of where you are at what time. That being said, my dream home would have a very large piece of property. It would have a view of some water. And I currently live in a very old home. And I think that I would love to live in a brand new home. I see steel, I see exposed wood, I see tall windows, and I see
industrial?
a kind of industrial.
Okay.
Maybe concrete floors.
I like it.
Yeah, so I don't know, but that could change tomorrow, truly.